Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another video for you today. So this is the last part of my semiconductor series. We talked about Intel, we talked about AMD. If you haven't watched those are going to be in the top right corner and in the description below. In this video, we're going to focus on Nvidia and why I believe this company is probably going to hit $1 trillion in valuation this decade. It's probably also going to be one of the biggest and most important companies for the future, because Nvidia isn't just making GPUs, graphic cards for video games. They are focusing on so many more things: autonomous vehicles, AI, specifically data centers, cryptocurrencies. We're going to talk about all of this in this video. We're also going to talk about obviously the potential acquisition of ARM and what that could mean for the future of Nvidia. So stay tuned for that. But before I do so, I just want to thank everyone that has been subscribing lately, on the way to 16,000 subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you like it, maybe hit that subscribe button. And if you like these videos, leave it an early thumbs up, as it really helps me outgrow the channel and get my videos out there. I would also like to thank the Motley for sponsoring this video. And again, these are my views and my views only. And now maybe a little magic trick. The Motley is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me find the latest growth stock and innovative company. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services, the Full Offers. Through the Motley Fool's Stock Advisor service, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have returned over 500%. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more this year, you can visit www.fool.com/couchinvestor or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if Stock Advisor is right for you. Now let's dive into this. Alright, before we jump into the earnings report, if you weren't following Nvidia before, the stock is actually up 33% this past month to around $745, almost close to $500 billion in market cap. Obviously, it's an expensive stock, it's an expensive company, but you're paying a premium because this company is growing super fast, as we can see right here. Their last earnings report was nothing short than incredible. Revenue grew 84% year over year to $5.6 billion. Gross margins 66.2%. Operating income up 112% to $2.5 billion. Net income up 107% to $2.3 billion. Diluted earnings per share up 103% to $3.65. Obviously, these were all beats compared to the consensus. Cash flow from operations also up 106% to $1.8 billion. Now the revenue is cut into a couple of segments. Obviously, the biggest one still is the gaming segment. As you can see from the last couple of quarters, that's the biggest one. But actually the one that has been accelerating the most is the data center. I think right now gaming is 47%, data centers is 40%. The exact numbers we're going to look a bit later, but data centers has been accelerating the fastest. Professional visualization is around flat, let's say. The auto side of the business has actually been decreasing for a couple of quarters, but then picked it up again Q2 fiscal year 2021. And since then it has been going up. And I expect this segment actually to grow further each and every quarter, each and every year, as we move towards more smart vehicles, autonomous vehicles. We're going to talk about that as well. And then the last one, OEMs and other segment, also growing pretty well. Also, by the way, if you didn't know, they announced a 4-to-1 stock split. The exact date of the split is not known as of now. But again, if you cannot buy a full share of Nvidia right now because you don't have access to fractional shares, then maybe you might wait a bit. And that might also actually be a reason for the stock to be up 33%, because usually when a company announces a stock split, for one reason or another, the stock price goes up. We've seen that with Apple, we've seen that with Tesla, we've seen that with, I believe, the Trade Desk, and we're seeing it right now with Nvidia as well. Just something I wanted to add. And this again is the core business of Nvidia. Like I said before, so I was right, gaming 47%, data centers 40%, professional visualization 6%, then automotive only 3%. So where do they see the growth for all 4 of them? For the gaming side, quite the obvious one actually, expanding population of gamers, esports, virtual reality, rising production value of gamers, gaming, and creator laptops. For the data center, which we can see here, fiscal year 2021 revenue of $6.7 billion, a 5-year compound annual growth rate of 82%, by far the biggest one out of all 4 of them. And how do they see this one growing? So fast growing adoption of AI in every major industry, rising compute needs unmet by conventional approaches such as the x86 CPUs, these are the ones that Intel are making actually, and Mellanox Networking, the Israeli company that they acquired, I believe, a year or 2 ago. For the professional visualization, you can see actually crazy stats here, 90+% market share in graphics workstations, that's in media and entertainment, architecture, engineering, construction, public sector. And how do they see that growing? Well, again, the same thing, expanding creative and design workflow, mobile workstation, rising adoption of AR and VR across all industries. That's also healthcare, architecture, engineering, you name it. And then the last one, the automotive part. Right now, the current revenue is driven largely by infotainment. But as we move further into the future, obviously with autonomous vehicles, for software or hardware, they will need Nvidia for that help. Alright, so I hope that by now you understand how big Nvidia is today, how important they are in all of those industries, and how big they will become even in the future. Because as we've seen with Intel, with AMD, with obviously all the other companies, we're not going back in time. We're actually accelerating right now the digital revolution. We're not near the peak, not at all. We're going to need way more semiconductors in the future than what we have today. So obviously a company like Nvidia is going to be very, very crucial. Now, another crucial point here for Nvidia and the bull thesis for investing in Nvidia is their potential acquisition of ARM. They are expected to acquire ARM for around $40 billion. Right now, because of antitrust issues, obviously the acquisition has not gone through yet. And that's why the company like Qualcomm prepared to invest in ARM as regulators threaten to block Nvidia's $40 billion acquisition. But if the acquisition is not blocked and Nvidia can acquire ARM, ARM, by the way, is a British company that designs chips. So if they acquire ARM, their number one priority is actually to bring Nvidia's GPU and AI IP, intellectual property, to ARM-powered chips. The CEO continued by saying, last year, ARM licensees sold 22 billion chips. Nvidia sold last year roughly 100 million chips. So you see what the impact can be. We believe all of those chips in the future are going to include AI computing. We believe all of those chips in the future will support accelerated computing, and we don't have to build all of them. We would love to extend our architecture to all of them. Now, obviously, there is a risk of the deal not going through because of, well, regulations. And I do understand why this deal has been dragging on because, well, it's quite a significant deal, $40 billion, maybe having a monopoly, antitrust issues, etc. right now is in the spotlight. We've seen it with Amazon, Facebook, Apple, Google. So it probably will take some time, but I do believe that we will get answers this year. Now, last topic I want to touch on is obviously cryptocurrency, and Nvidia CEO, Mr. Leatherjacket, has talked about this as well recently. So he believes that we're moving towards a crypto metaverse. We've talked about the metaverse before. I'm going to make a specific video about the metaverse in the future. But right now, let's say with the metaverse regarding Nvidia, something that's really appealing to them is obviously Ethereum miners. So Nvidia released in February a graphics card for Ethereum miners, the Nvidia CMP, cryptocurrency mining processor. And at the end of May, Nvidia had made $155 million from its CMP cards. Huang said in May, CMP yields better and producing those doesn't take away from the supply of GeForce, the graphics card for a laptop, a computer, and so it protects the supply for the gamers. Because obviously right now, if you go on Best Buy or one of these websites and you look for an Nvidia graphics card, most of the time those are going to be out of stock or probably priced super high because, well, global chip shortage. Right, so to conclude, if you have not been paying attention to Nvidia, maybe you will be paying attention now. I believe this company is going to be one of the biggest and most important companies in the future. It's not going to happen tomorrow or in the next month. It's going to take some time, but let's say in 10 years, I do believe Nvidia to be worth more than $1 trillion. I do believe Nvidia will be one of the biggest companies and most important companies in the world because, well, we're moving towards a world where everything is going to be digital every device will need maybe AI capabilities, supercomputing capabilities, lots of semiconductors. Who better to provide those than Nvidia? I currently do not hold Nvidia in my portfolio. I did have it a while back. Lesson learned, let your winners run. Now let me know down in the comments below if you have some Nvidia shares in your portfolio or if you're planning on buying some. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like these videos, leave it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. As always guys, take care, stay safe, and see you all in the next video. Bye bye.